TEDx Fargo is this Saturday. It's a day filled with sharing ideas that are worth spreading to help solve challenges and create possibilities.
We are very excited to introduce our next guest, #Agent David Hasselhoff, otherwise known as Steve Rohr, is here to talk about this great book, How to Overcome Your Fears of Public Speaking.
Yeah, I better read that book. I'm speaking on Thursday.
Yeah.
I know. Looks like a pretty good book. Well, first of all, I'm a big fan of the Chris Squared. So thank you for having me on the show.
So funny, I think you were going to say Baywatch, but
well, that's my second big love in life. But my first is this dynamic duo here. So thank you.
Thank you for being here.
So
I'm going to accept that as one of the things I just
I'm going to accept it as a compliment.
Today. Yeah.
Let's talk about you, though, this book and what you're going to be talking about at TEDx.
Well, public speaking is the #1 fear in America. Death is second.
Really?
Second. People are terrified of getting up and giving a speech. So that's why so many people are doing it on Thursday. Well, actually, people are really scared to give speeches in school, to give speeches in church, to give speeches at weddings. So this book really delves into the psychology, why we're so terrified. And there's a reason. We are programmed to panic. Yes, we're programmed to panic. It's not your fault, Christy. It's not your fault. There is a part of the brain called the primitive brain.
Do you guys want to hug it out?
Well, you know, this could become very dramatic.
This is going to help my fear of speaking.
Accept it. Well, there's a part of the brain that goes into that fight or flight mode when we perceive a threat. And public speaking can be a threat to people. So we start to panic and our mouth goes dry and our hands start getting clammy and our face turns bright red and we lose it. But if you understand that nerves are natural, that's really the first step to manage them. Not get over them, to manage them. You should never want to get rid of your nerves. Please do not get rid of your nerves. Be nervous. It's really important.
So you're kind of talking then about how to work with those nerves to still create that goal of making that speech at work, at the weddings.
That's right, except that nerves are natural. If you're not nervous, you're dead. If you're not nervous, you walk out on the street and you have a picnic during rush hour. You're dead. Nerves protect us from that, right?
It is funny. I've actually talked about that before, where we talk on TV every day, but I can still stand up in front of a crowd, whether it's 15 people or 200 people, and I still get nervous.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
But you know what? It's everybody. It's everybody. You know, I still get nervous. I got nervous coming on this show. I had to compete with this woman who can see into the future. You know, there's a lot of pressure on North Dakota today. But look, you get up, you do your thing. If you're passionate about something, if you care about something, hey, it's going to flow. And do not have a perfect speech. People always want to be perfect. Do not be perfect. Be authentic. People understand, like, look, we have our little accidents. We're not always, you know, going to be fluent. And maybe there's a lot of pressure on you because they see you on TV. But being authentic, being yourself, that's what people respond to.
So how would you coach somebody through that? Because I see that a lot with people that they get up, they try to say all the right words, you can see them thinking about it, but then it's like, I can't connect to you. So how do you coach people to get through that and go, hey, forget about the words, connect?
Well, first of all, you have to look at the people. Nobody wants to look at the audience, right? There's that big saying, you know, picture the audience naked or just with underwear on. No, that is very creepy. I'm sorry, it's really creepy. And it also distances you from the audience. And the whole point is to connect. Connect with them. And the audience is not your enemy. Can you believe that? We think they are. Why do we think they're our enemy?
I don't know.
Are they judging us? Yes. And how do we know this? Because we judge people all the day, all through, right? We judge people all the day. But you know what? It's not judging the way we think they're judging us. Look, when is the last time you walked in to hear a speaker and thought, gee, I really hope this speaker is terribly boring. I really need to give away 2 hours of my time that I can never get back. I could be napping, but no, I want to listen to this horrible speech. You never say that. We want to be entertained. We want to be informed. We want to see something. We want to learn something. So the audience is on your side. They want you to be successful. Now, people are scared of that. Well, I call it, it's a medical term. It's called a brain fart. Perhaps you've heard of it. I'm not a doctor, but I do know medical terms. So it's when you just go completely blank and you're in a panic. Have you ever seen that happen?
Yes, I've done it before.
Yeah, exactly.
Guilty.
Right. How does that feel? Great?
You do. You have that sinking, like your heart's almost like down here.
That's right.
And then you're just kind of like
tick, tick, tick.
Say a word,
Yeah.
say anything.
Yeah. 2 seconds feels like a year.
Yeah.
Like you could have knit an Afghan in that time that you just had a brain fart, right? Well, sitting in the audience, how do you feel?
You want them to get back and you're like, hey man, we
on
got one with
edge
you.
almost, like,
That's
oh, what
right,
are they going to
that's
say
right,
next?
that's right. My sister calls it secondhand embarrassment. So what you're doing is you're trying to will that person to say some words, any words, avocado, blue, rotunda, anything. Say something so that we can feel better, right? Move on. Now, when you have that brain fart, the best thing you can do, the secret, is to ask a question. Asking a question automatically puts the audience into answer mode. The pressure's off you, completely off you, and you have just a second to say, oh, where was I? So try to remember the last thing you said, anything that you said, the last 10 minutes, yesterday, 2 weeks before, whatever it was. Ask the question. Have you ever had that happen to you? And suddenly, the entire mood shifts. And don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They will not forget if you have forgotten a word. They won't. They won't forget. It's about the recovery. That's what a true champion is, right?
Yeah.
Amen. So what's the key to connecting with your audience?
Medication.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely be
Is
medication.
that the champagne you were talking about earlier?
That's exactly the champagne I'm talking about. You know what? Be passionate about what you're talking about. Really care. Understand who the audience is. So if you are talking about, you're talking to Jody, you're talking about this spirituality, and you're speaking to a crowd of infants, well, perhaps you should retool that speech. So it comes from you and also from the audience. It's a conversation. It's not just you blasting information at somebody. It's really connecting, seeing how they're reacting, and talking back and forth.
Right. How are they best going to absorb what I have to say?
That's right.
How can I make them understand?
That's exactly right.
Wow.
So let's talk about Thursday. You're in town, you're speaking Thursday.
Yeah.
How can people come check you out?
Well, you can log on to tedxfargo.com. There are still tickets available, although I hear it's really tight now. I think about 2,000 people go. I was telling some of this the other night. I've never seen a TEDx or TED event that is so community-minded. It's crazy. You go to other TEDx events, and they're like, oh, I kind of heard about it. Everybody in Fargo has heard about it. Everybody's behind it, and I think that is extraordinary. And I'm really proud and happy to be speaking there. I'm glad to be back in town. I'm a cobber.
Woo!
I
That's
know.
crazy, right?
I'm a
It's
cobber.
great.
That's where I learned how to speak so good. And I credit my speech coaches and the professors there
Yeah.
for, they still owe me a grade, so I'm just, going
Yeah.
to use this TV time to try to get
You're
it.
waiting
Yeah,
for
exactly
it.
right.
Hasn't earned the degree. Earned the $1 billion.
Right.
That's
though.
right. Thank you for making a billionaire, by the way. Really appreciate
Anytime,
it. Yeah.
man. You can
Yeah.
come here anytime. We'll do that. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Have a great time on Thursday. Again, check them out. TEDx Fargo Thursday. Get your tickets. Have a great, great day. And stick around. We're going to wrap things up right after this.